Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
And welcome back to episode 4 of Animation Saturdays. This week is Justin's pick. And of course, it's the show where we pick an animated movie and we watch it on Sundays. A lot of fun. And we come back and review it. It can be new, it can be old, doesn't matter. There's no criteria for this. It just has to be animated. So,
hmm
Justin, like I said, this is your week. So, what animated movie did you pick for us?
So week one we watched Lilo and Stitch. Week two we watched Wreck-It Ralph, and last week we watched Lion King, which all three are Disney movies. So I wanted to go in a different direction. So this week I am choosing the anime film, Summer Wars. I know almost nothing about it. I saw a commercial for it once for Konami.
I'm looking it up. Summer Wars?
Yes. I
Summer
know it has a
Wars.
rabbit as a character, and that's all I really know about it. I just want to go in a completely different direction, so we are watching Summer Wars.
Okay, this looks like a freaking that's definitely a whale lord in that picture. Um this looks like what's that? Yokai Watch.
Hmm.
Okay. Alright, I guess.
So we'll be
Let's
back in a
get to
flash.
watching it.
And we're back. So we just got done watching Summer Wars, and the little synopsis of it, courtesy of IMDb, is a student tries to fix a problem he accidentally caused in Oz, a digital world, while pretending to be the fiance of his friend at his grandmother's 90th birthday.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
the voice actors include um, Michael Sinter Nicholas as Kenji, Brina Palencia as Natsuki, Maxie Whitehead as Kazuma, and so many more because this movie is full of characters. But
Mm-hmm.
those are just three notable ones. I'm going to actually open their pages, see if I recognize them from anything else, because I've seen my fair share of anime in my lifetime. Um, so you may know Michael, how you pronounce his last name, as looks like not much as for main characters, at least something as characters I know. Um, yeah. So instead of that, let's just go back. Let's just go and talk about what we thought about the movie, because these lists are too long to even try to look for things I know.
Alright, you talk first.
I fucking love this movie. This movie to me has a lot of connections to the Digimon movie, like similar in art style, and there's parts that I could really make connections to, like when they all gave their accounts to Natsuki. That's reminded me of when like it was like this big battle in the digital world, and everybody across the world was watching, and they're giving their strength to Agumon and what is the um Agumon and Guru, not his name's not Gurumon, that's his Digivolve form, but still people know what I'm talking about. And it was like, and they like warped Digivolve to like the max thing ever, and it was like such an awesome scene. So that reminded me of that. Um, this movie looked beautiful. Like the fight scenes were absolutely amazing, and goddamn, it's like 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 barring Pokemon, this is the first thing I've seen that's like truly anime since April. It's got me in the mood to watch some more because there's a lot of shows that I know that got dubbed since I stopped watching, and I just need to get back in the swing of it. I really, really love this movie, and eh, it. I think it's my favorite thing we've watched for Animation Saturday so far. Dawson,
Yeah.
I'm really curious to know what you have to say about this because anime is not really your strong suit.
Mm-mm.
So, what are your thoughts on this movie?
Um, right off the bat, I just want to say, I enjoyed it. I did. I did. there's nothing really in this movie that disappointed me, that made me angry. Technically, or technologically, it looks nice. It's animated well. Voice of cast is good. Story wise, it's fairly fluid throughout. Um, I am not a person who watches anime often, so when it comes to story in anime and how it's written and how it's choreographed and whatever, I don't know much about, so I can't really, talk too much about, how well this movie is conducted throughout the movie. Like, because anime and animated movies are completely different than, our animated movies.
Mm.
When it comes to storytelling, art design, character development, it's just completely different. So I can't really talk much about it because I haven't seen many to kind of have like a ground zero to, base off of. Um, I thought that the relationship between Kenji and Natsuki was kind of cool. She just kind of is like, all right, I need somebody to be my fiance. Well, she didn't even tell the two guys.
Yeah, she just phrased it as a part-time job that they don't really have to work at.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. At the end, of course, they finally get together for real instead of playing it off. The family dynamics were fun. There's a lot of there was one adopted son, grandson, nephew, whatever the hell he was, that came in. He had a big part in this movie.
He was
Um,
an illegitimate grandson.
yes,
So he was like a basically I think he was like the son of like a cheating escapade or something like that.
it was the grandmother's husband's son.
Yeah.
Um, I thought he was kind of cool, though I would have wished he was in the movie a little bit more because he did create our villain of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like having his character kind of just run off for a while, doing whatever. I mean, they didn't even tell us what he was doing. He just kind of was in the middle of a street on his laptop. Um, I do want to talk about real quick before I kind of continue on with the story elements. There are so many references in this movie that I caught, and I wrote them all down. So a lot of these are not going to make sense unless you've seen the movie or unless you've seen this movie recently. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these references and a lot of these little cameos or whatever are not going to make sense to people that weren't either watching closely or haven't seen the movie recently. In the beginning, Darth Vader character pops up. Kermit the Frog, like a puppet, is inside um, Natsuki's bag. A Dr. Pepper can is in the train.
Mm-hmm.
They're all using Nintendo DSs. Disneyland and World are mentioned in the movie, which is cool.
Yeah, we can't
Um,
break away from Disney. Even to
yeah.
mention, it's still going to be there.
Um, they're using a lot of Dell products, being like Dell computers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the I can't remember his name, but the guy who programmed Love Machine has an iPhone.
And also, I
Uh,
just want to say that he drives a Mazda. That's the thing
sure.
I call it.
Um, the uncle or the angry uncle who wants to start war with Love Machine's creator is wearing a more or less knockoff Mortal Kombat shirt.
Mm-hmm.
During they're trying to get some passwords or something, and they're looking through a bunch of profiles, and there's a bunch of icons, and one of them is a Triforce. Um, one of the guy who plays the rabbit, his avatar is the rabbit.
Cosmo.
Yeah, Cosma. He's wearing an Adidas shirt.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned Seven Samurai, which is probably the best samurai film of all time. Um, the crazy uncle again, who was wearing the Mortal Kombat shirt, is now wearing a Yamaha a motorcycle shirt. which is just a motorcycle brand.
Mm-hmm.
And also, of course, because Windows 10 sucks, and of course, Windows 10 came out after this movie, but they are running Windows 7
Yeah, because that's the
in the
best
movie.
gaming Windows thing you can use.
But those are just a few I caught. I'm sure there's a lot more, but I was trying not to focus on catching Easter eggs
Yeah, it's
and
for like
still
for an
continue the story.
animated movie. There's a lot of product placement.
Oh yeah, there's
I mean, it
tons.
all fits. It makes this movie just seem more real than having like made up brands, but
Oh yeah, I mean they
it's
mentioned a
fine.
lot of real life brands. I don't know if they actually got the rights to do it or they just kind of
I'm sure they
whatever they did.
had to have because I think it's kind of illegal to throw stuff in there without
I mean, I don't know.
consent.
There were a few things in this movie um, that did have the off-brand title or a very look-alike
Yeah.
reference, but they didn't really say it by name. So I don't know. I mean, there were a few things in this movie I was like, oh, okay, so you couldn't get the rights to that, but you still put it in there, kind of. Um,
They do that a lot in anime. Like they'll have something like that's really close that isn't exactly it, but people who watch understand what it's supposed to be.
mhm. Um, but I thought this movie was animated very, very well. At the beginning, I was kind of not lost when it comes to story wise, but I was kind of put off by the animation style.
Hmm.
But 15, 20 minutes in, I kind of got over it, and
Oh,
I started to enjoy it.
one thing I want to mention is like the Guardians of Oz. Their names
Hmm.
are John and Yoko, being a reference to John Lennon and Yoko. That's something I caught.
Oh, hmm. I did not catch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we need to talk about Oz for a second. Oz in this movie is an online world that was created to control everything. I guess it has its hand in everything, including nuclear warfare. Apparently, it's more or less um, the internet.
Yeah.
It's this world's internet.
Imagine
It's
like
this
the internet as
world's
like an MMO.
Yeah, that's what this is, and everybody gets to create their own avatar um to explore this world and to do whatever they want. They can do tournaments, they can do
Gambling,
gambling, whatever.
work,
Yeah, they can
shop.
work, they can shop. I mean, they can order food. I mean, this thing is there's a lot of things within this world, and our hero of the story, our main character, I guess, Kenji. He is um, he's a maintenance worker. The best way we can put it, a maintenance worker in Oz.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much, if you know what you're doing, you more or less already have the job in Oz. You can just kind of start doing maintenance work. Um, and him and his friend are that, and more or less this kind of code is sent out. This problem, this decipher, whatever and then Ken just decipher it. Doesn't have to, but he does.
Because he's a math genius.
He's a math genius, and he does do it, and he sends it out. But he gets one character wrong, which doesn't make any sense because it's a real world. Like imagine it said something, but he added a G at the end of it.
Yeah.
And he had like an extra G or an extra K.
No, the word he misspelled was knowledge. He put a Q instead of an E.
Yeah, like it was totally dumb what he messed up, but oh well.
I mean, it's just a reason to be like he almost got it, but he just missed that one key, so he's innocent.
Yeah. But then at the end he solves like six more different problems and gets them all right, but keeps on getting shut out. But he's an honest character. He's a character that you root for.
Hmm.
You root for all of them at the end. I, I, I quote unquote was on the edge of my seat watching the end part. It was pretty cool. I did like the villain. The circumstances, the actual events that were unfolding with this whole nuclear warfare, which I did not see that coming. Um, you know, Definitely wasn't um, relatable. It definitely wasn't really set in the real world much. I mean, I'm sure nuclear warfare is imminent for all of us one day. and we sure have had our fair share of nuclear warfare in the real world. But going from a more or less like a World of Warcraft type game that also controls the nukes and everything else in the world, that was totally like, okay, this is batshit crazy, but I'll follow you, I guess. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. We've only watched, 3 movies so far, and I did say that I think I agree with you. I think I enjoyed this movie a lot because it's a movie I haven't seen. So I got to experience it for the first time, and I think I enjoyed it more than the other 3 films because of that. It was a new experience. I did enjoy it. So yeah, I think that's my 2 cents. Justin, do you want to give any final thoughts and then give your rating?
I just absolutely love this movie, and it's got me so in the mood to watch the Digimon movie. I haven't seen it in years, and I would love to watch it again. So maybe in the upcoming week, we could get down with that.
Uh-oh.
But for now, that is it, guys. It's time for our ratings. So as always, I shall go first, and I'm going to give this movie a strong 9, because it to me it was just an amazing movie, and I had the bestest time watching it.
Mm-hmm.
What What is your rating, Dawson?
Though I can't remember what I've given the last animation Saturday movies when it comes to ratings. Um, and even though I did enjoy this, more than I enjoyed those movies, I'm just gonna give it an 8. I think it's a strong movie. IMDb says it's a 7.6, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
which I can also agree with. It's not a spectacular movie. It's no, it's a good storytelling. It's a good experience. It's good animation. It's a good time, and it's worth the watch. And I think that warrants a strong 8
Yeah.
in my book.
So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. We thank you for watching. Let us know down below what you thought about the movie Summer Wars. If you've seen it, if not, check it out and then tell us what you thought about it. Sorry that we probably spoiled a lot of it if you haven't seen it, but hopefully if you're watching this, I mean, you have seen it. And yeah, come back next Monday for Recommendation Monday. And yeah, we'll see y'all then.
Bye.